Ahem. Ahem. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Man, we got some people in here already. Let's see, who we got in here? Who we got in here waiting? Let's see, we got the doc himself. We got Way of the Lao. What's up? Welcome. My boy Alan. Alan's in here. Matt Sargent's in here. Heck Underscore's in here. Andre's in here. Javier, welcome back. Casey Moore, welcome. We got a crew. Way of the Lao. Hey man, can I ask what you do for a living? So I work in IT. I do application support and development for a utility company for our real-time operators. So I do a lot of work in C# and Java, supporting our real-time operating groups. So that's the short story version. Nick MG, what up? Welcome. Ooh, man, I tell you what, I was feeling like complete dumpster ass yesterday. Well, it started, what's today? Today's Tuesday. So Sunday night, I was feeling so miserable. Like my throat was all scratchy and I was starting to feel achy. And then yesterday morning, I woke up and it was awful. So my immediate response was like, well, I got the COVID. And luckily, we have some tests, COVID tests. Took it surprisingly negative, so that's a good thing. I guess it's just, a regular uh, cold thing, sore throat or whatever. But luckily, I'm feeling a good bit better today. Not 100%, but certainly better than the last couple of days, which is good. Starkey 3000. First time catching a live stream. Welcome. This is probably my seventh or eighth live stream. For some reason, like half of them go, I won't say bad, but when I try to do something, so I like to use my live streams as like, my YouTube videos are like official. Here's a project. Here's what I want to do, and this is how you do it, kind of thing. Live streams are more like, here's an idea. Let's try it out live. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, well, here's some things that can go wrong. So it seems like half the time something goes wrong when trying to set something up on a live stream. But yeah, usually they're pretty chill, pretty fun. I'm 39. I'm going back to school to get certifications because I want to switch jobs. I love the channel. I appreciate that, man. Yes, never too old to go back and learn something, for sure. So what do they say? The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. So it does not matter how old you are, as long as you're improving, doing something you want to do for sure, especially if going back to school helps you get a better job, doing something you actually want to do. I'm all for it. Steve, just finished watching the server backup stream. Looking forward to some more of the same. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty common theme. I feel like my last couple of streams have been Open Media Vault related, and this one is no different. It's the hot topic of the month, I guess. So yeah, that's the plan today. Is I recently did those videos on Open Media Vault. I did a live stream, and then I did how my backup server is now running Open Media Vault. And one of the cool things about Open Media Vault is that it runs, from what I've heard, really well on a Raspberry Pi. So I'm kicking around the idea of what to do with a Raspberry Pi Open Media Vault setup. I know for sure I want to do a video about setting it up powered by solar and battery powered, so it's kind of off the grid type thing. So I definitely want to do that. What I want to do with it long term, I'm not sure yet. Maybe it'll be my remote backup server, where I can convince my friend to leave it at his house, and I can say it won't use any power if I do it the solar way. But even still, the power usage on these things is really, really low. So Next project, build Minecraft mod. Oh dear God. I've literally just played like I've played Minecraft in my life probably a total of like 5 or 6 hours total. So I might need a couple of more hours under my belt before creating a mod. Do 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 do. Just get that a lot. Just finished watching. Oh, sorry, I read that already. Uh, are you contributing to open source projects? At the moment, no. I'm not actively contributing or developing on any open source projects. Um, Once I feel more comfortable doing something like that, I would, but I feel like what's the term? Um, what do they use that when you're like qualified but you feel like you're not qualified to do something? Imposter syndrome. Um, that's kind of what it feels like at this point. But I'd be happy to if I can find one that I'm passionate enough about and to work on. Yeah, imposter syndrome. Recommend the channel DB Tech on Open Media Vault tutorials until you get yours up and running. I've heard of DB Tech. Um, yeah, so I do have an Open Media Vault. I mean, my first one is up and running. So this is going to be a venture into the Raspberry Pi version of that. And from what I've seen, I like Open Media Vault. It's simple, it's straightforward. Manager syndrome. Man, I feel like manager syndrome is the opposite, where you don't know anything and you act like you know everything. I'm kidding. If my manager's watching, which I doubt he is. Um, but yeah, hello, NYC Squad Cubing. Welcome back. I've seen you in here quite a few times, my man. Welcome back. So I guess let's get started. We got 30. Looks like it says 30 viewers in here today. I think that's an all-time high. Wow. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get this started. Like I said, we're just going to be installing Open Media Vault on the Raspberry Pi and seeing how that goes. I did do a test run before just to make sure it actually worked. I didn't want to get into another stream where I'm trying to set something up and it doesn't work and we're spending hours troubleshooting, even though those lead to the probably more fun streams. But I did test this before, but I did wipe it. All I've done to the Raspberry Pi, which is right here. I guess let me explain what we're working with. We are working with a Raspberry Pi 4 4 GB version, and this is a Initech standard USB 3.0 external hard drive dock. I mean, you can get whatever version of it you want. There's dozens, hundreds probably that you can choose from. They're around $30 to $50, depending on where you buy them. This has 2 slots. It can handle 2 3.5-inch hard drives, or you can use solid state drives in there if you want. But yeah, that's the setup. Oh, and the drives are one is a 2 terabyte Western Digital, and one is a 1 terabyte Western Digital. And the reason that I have them, one's a 2 terabyte and one's a 1 terabyte, is because that's what I have laying around. I ordered 3 8 terabyte drives. 2 of them will go in here and one will be kind of a spare or something. So those are on the way. I don't have them in yet. They should be in sometime this week, but yeah, the size of the drive doesn't really matter for this. This is just testing it out. So last time I built in Minecraft, I built a full-size Ark because everyone else on the server were building giant structures. Yeah, the only thing I've done is I created a public server for my friend and his kids. So me and him were literally, we both have never played Minecraft, so we were running around and trying to learn the basics of it. We built a little fort and crap, and it was fun. It was actually really fun. I can see why it's so popular, and especially with all the different mods, for sure. Rock and Rolf Hamburg. I set up a Raspberry Pi with Open Media Vault and SSD ButterFS format, and use it as a time machine for my Linux laptop. Yeah, there's so many different um, use cases for storage in general. So, and just being able to use it on a Raspberry Pi being super low power is extremely convenient. But let's go ahead and dive into it. Let me switch up the um, overlay so that you're not completely looking at my face. Do you know how to fix the Open Media Vault Docker overlay 2 filling up? I have a very limited knowledge of Open Media Vault doc 399. But I don't know. I haven't seen that. I haven't heard about it. Um, I couldn't. I wish I could be of more assistance. What do you use the 2600K for? Right now, it's a paperweight. It's sitting in the other room. Um, I want to. I was deciding between this for the stream and the other idea I had was to use the 2600K build as a virtualized um, cloud gaming server where I split my GPU into multiple sections and have each part of the GPU that's partitioned out be its own dedicated gaming virtual machine. So that will probably be my next stream. Hint, hint. So yeah, that's the plan. Hello, I have a question. Okay, last thing, and then we're gonna jump in, I swear. Okay. Hello, I have a question. This is Juhin. Sorry if that's not how you pronounce that. I have a VPS, and I want a full backup. If something goes wrong, I can restore it to another provider. All the operating system Linux and my panel, all the data there. Any tutorial for that? Thanks. It completely depends on what you're running on your VPS. If everything's Docker containerized, it makes it super easy to transfer all your stuff to another system. If it's using Linux containers, it's also easier. If it's running natively in like an Ubuntu system, you can create, or just a regular Linux distro, you can create a backup of your entire all your config files, your entire boot drive, whatever. That's a little bit more, I won't say difficult, but a little bit more tedious than something like Docker or containers where they're designed to be moved around from system to system. But that's why I strongly recommend people look into Docker. It's not, I mean, it's the most popular form of deploying services for a reason. So yeah, but long story short, no, I don't have a tutorial specifically on that, but there's certainly many out there that you can look from depending on what your system is. So, okay, let's get started. It's fairly easy to install Open Media Vault on a Raspberry Pi. It's like a one-liner. So all I've done on this Pi, I've installed Raspberry Pi OS, the light version, because it requires you don't install one with a GUI. So the light version is essentially the desktop version without the GUI or the desktop environment. And I've enabled SSH on it so that it can kind of just sit there and I can SSH to it and control it from here. So let's do that. Let's connect Pi at, I already know my IP of it. Okay, we're in. I'd like to explore Docker a bit more, Nick. Yes, I strongly recommend just looking at Docker. It's, from my personal experience, I know there's a lot of people out there way smarter than me, but from my experience, it was extremely intimidating learning about it because it's so much more, it's so different compared to, if you're used to just spinning up VMs and, working on bare metal servers and stuff like that. It's so much more different with the containers and how they talk to each other and how you build images and stuff. It can be a little intimidating, but don't worry. Even somebody with a tech YouTube channel who does talks about stuff like this was intimidated by it at first. So if you feel that way, it is perfectly normal. So let's go ahead and follow this guide. It's not going to take long to get this underway. All we have to do is update and upgrade. Like I said, I've done nothing on this Pi yet except enable SSH. So let's run through this. I am running a gigabit LAN to it. I also want to test it out over Wi-Fi just to see how it handles. If I could literally just chuck this in a closet and have it run off of Wi-Fi to see how that would react. Thank you. Your channel is awesome. I will try to learn Docker as fast as I can. You are a great guy. I appreciate that, man. It's awesome to see you guys come in, ask questions. Even if I don't have an answer, I will try to point you guys in the right direction or at least give some insight on it. So, intermission. I have to open a pickle jar. Hey guys, if I can't open this, it's going to be so embarrassing. It's so slippery.
It's really tight. Because it was in the refrigerator.
God. Ah, it's slippery. Oh, I got it.
Thought that I was close, but
Hold on, guys. Don't mind me.
I don't think a phone is the optimal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Damn it.
I thought it was already open, but it wasn't. So.
God dang. Shit. Hold on. I need leverage. Holy shit. Whew. We're still working on it, guys. Use the back of a teaspoon.
Yeah.
I don't have
I
a.
tried hitting it.
I don't have a like a. You thought this was just a tech stream. This is a World's Strongest Man competition. God damn. I gotta work on my grip strength. Whew. All right, one more go. Screwdriver. Oh yeah, I do have a screwdriver in here. Hold on. What'd you grab? A spoon? Smack it. I'm sure that heard something.
Yep.
Man, that works so easy. What the frick, dude? What kind of magician shit is that?
I tried hitting it and it didn't work before.
All right, guys, we did
Apparently
it.
it took your.
Yeah, I loosened it. I loosened it. Shit. Now I'm exhausted. So yeah, that's second step of installing Open Media Vault on a Raspberry Pi is to open a pickle jar. God damn. All right. All right, let's do the upgrade. Whew, okay. We got it, guys. Don't worry. Pickles are open and ready to be enjoyed. Hashtag pickle stream. I feel like that would lead you into some weird places. Yeah, today's workout. Yeah, I missed the gym yesterday and today because I'm feeling like shit. Buy PoE hat. Yeah, I do want a I was thinking because I do want to eventually get into learning more. I've been reading a good bit about Kubernetes and watching some videos and stuff. So I do want to get a couple of more pies to play with making a Kubernetes cluster. And yeah, the PoE hat just makes things so much more easy. But you know, you got to buy a PoE hat for every Pi. But yeah, if you do that and get a little PoE switch, It makes it so much easier. I feel like I helped save the stream. Yeah, Nick, we would still be here, like trying to, or practically popping a blood vessel, trying to open a pickle jar, if not for your ingenious insight. Can you also think of buying a UPS module for the Raspberry Pi? I've seen those as well. I have a couple of, I have two UPSs in my house. I have one for my main server and another one for my network gear. Depending on where this is deployed, I could already use those that already exist without having to buy one. But we'll see. Yeah, there's so many cool things you can get for the Pi. All the different hats. I was looking into, one of my friends is really big into audio. He's like audiophile level. And I was looking into getting the DAC hat, digital to analog converter, for the Raspberry Pi to mess around with and play with. So we'll see. There's a whole bunch of different things we can do. Oh, what up, Matt? Wow, how relevant this video is. I just got a Pi kit from Santa I'm going to use for network storage. I have to go work out soon, so you can sit in silence for a few hours until I get back. All right, guys. Matt's going to work out, so nobody say anything. I won't say anything until he gets back, even though this entire stream is going to be available on the channel afterwards. But yeah, man, this is gonna be super relevant for you, Matt, then. So join along. Oh, by the way, Matt, I'll be in town in a couple weeks, so we can party. I like to help people get caught in a pickle. Can PoE hats help with pickle jars? I mean, I assume they're hard enough to where you can smack them on the side of a pickle jar. So technically, yeah. All right, we're done updating. We are good. Now we can just run our install command. Come on. And this part takes a while, so we're going to be chilling for a bit. It takes probably like 5 to 10 minutes, so we'll see. But yeah, in my initial testing and messing around with this, it was pretty cool. The first thing I noticed, though, when I set this up yesterday to test with, is that I guess I was using Open Media Vault 6, which on my backup server, I'm doing Open Media Vault 5. And everyone in the comments was like, oh, Open Media Vault 6, the UI is so much better, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, it is. It's so much more clean and inviting and even more streamlined than 5 is. I praised Open Media Vault 5 for being very streamlined and easy to use compared to other hypervisors. Because when you launch into TrueNAS, you're just like, holy shit, what? There's so much shit here. And Proxmox, I would say, is even worse. If you're just doing the eyeball tests, Proxmox is probably the worst of all. But I mean, again, I don't value that super high because obviously Proxmox is my main hypervisor of choice. So obviously I don't prioritize the eyeball test, but I know something to consider when people are picking a hypervisor or NAS operating system to go with. So crack a beer time. It might be. It's one of our friends' birthday today, so we might be going out later to celebrate. We'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know yet, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be crack a beer time, but yeah, I have this hooked up to this this little system hooked up to this power meter right here, and just the two drives that are plugged in to the Pi are pulling 10 watts. And in my initial, when I was testing on a Raspberry Pi a while ago, it pulls anywhere from like 3 watts up to like 7 or 8, depending on what's going on. So, total, you're looking at probably under 20 watts total for the entire system, which is super convenient considering the solar panel I have is a 100-watt solar panel, and the battery I have a little portable, I built a portable battery system where you can plug the solar panel in and it charges the battery, and it has 12 volt USB or 12 volt output, 5 volt USB, and it has a 120 volt standard AC power on it. So that's what I'll be using to power this. Obviously, you can't power it off solar if the sun's down, so you do need a battery backup unless you can control the sun. In that case, you are probably some type of god, and I don't know why you're here watching the stream. I can offer your support if you need help with that too. Nick, you offering support to help me drink a beer? I appreciate that, my man. Man, Raspberry Pis pull almost nothing. Yeah, they're extremely power efficient. And I might mess around with, because I have quite, no, I think I only have 2. Let's say I have a couple of Raspberry Pi Zeros, which pull even less. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I end up messing around with. Where would the Pi where would the Pi be that it'll get sunlight? Will it be outside or on the roof? So I have, dude, these people with their spam. All right. Who's in here? Who's been in here for a while? Heck underscore. You've been around here for a while. I'm going to mod you if you would be so kind as to remove these stupid spamming var tech things that come in. How do I do this? Heck and Nick, y'all are both around a good bit. I'm gonna mod both of you guys. Please use the moderation wisely. Obviously, there's not a lot to moderate, but these things come in a good bit and it's super annoying. So back to the question so the idea right now is the solar panel is going to be sitting outside next to the house, and the wiring is going to go in to charge the battery bank, and the setup will be sitting on top of that. So we'll be in the garage. I might try putting the solar panel up against the window we have over here that gets a good amount of sunlight to see how that works. I don't know. I got to play with it a good bit. But, oh, Alan, yeah. Alan's always in here. You can, that's fair. All right. That's it for now. If you're in here again, I had 3 mods today. Well, if there's more people in next stream, if you're always hanging out, chatting, and not being a crazy person, then yeah, you can get modded. Okay, so what I miss? A wind turbine. My dad was actually talking about, he lives up in Colorado in like a valley area that gets a lot of wind, and he was wondering how setting up a wind turbine would work. So I think it'd be a cool project, but it's really far away from me. So if you live like next door and I could actively work on it, then yeah, but it's a little far. What did I miss? I missed something. I recommend a small YTDL system that sits in the background. Just finished my home lab today. Oh, sorry, I missed something. Sarkawan, I probably didn't say that right. Just finished my home lab today with a storage and VM server. Now I have raspberries laying around. Let's see what I can use the pies for. If if you want to learn something cool, recommend looking into Kubernetes. It's just a way of orchestrating Docker to scale across, scale up services depending on load, as well as doing failovers and just taking a bunch of pies and using them as one bigger system or cluster. So Kubernetes is cool. I'd recommend looking into it. That's what I've been doing. I don't have much experience with it, but yeah. Boop, 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 boop. What else are we looking at? I'm creating a script that can download any channel and sort into folders. Any channel and sort into folders and list the released order. That's pretty cool. Scripting, so you're just doing, it's just like a standard shell script, or are you doing some other scripting language? With a spare Pi, I would build a local Git server. Yep, certainly possible. There's it's crazy how many uses there are for such a tiny, low power machine these days. And I mean, we haven't even gotten a Pi update in years. The Pi 4 at this point is how many years old? 3 or 4? So who knows what the Pi 5 is going to bring. The Pi 4 is already, the only downside of the Pi 4 is it's not quite the desktop performance, at the desktop performance level that I think a lot of people would like to see it at. And again, I did a week long only using the Raspberry Pi as my main desktop. You can check the channel for that video. I did that a couple months ago. And the main takeaway is that, I mean, yeah, it's useful as a desktop machine, but that's honestly not what the Pi is built for. I'm well aware of that. It's not designed to be a desktop replacement, but I think a lot of people, as it's gotten more powerful over the years, have tried to make it into a desktop replacement just because it's hitting that power level over 9,000 where it can very well be a desktop replacement with a couple more tweaks. So let's see what else. You can get prepaid turbines set up to link to charge controller to supplement the solar panels. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff you can do. So you can tie it into your existing electrical panel. You need a special controller for that, but I mean, if you have one, it's easy. You can have its own system where it charges the batteries and the batteries are connected to some backup. You can have them set on a relay where if your main goes out, your batteries switch on. You can do a whole bunch of cool stuff, but that's outside of my well, not outside of my wheelhouse. I have an electrical engineering degree, so it's kind of in my wheelhouse, but outside of the projects I want to take on right now, let's say that. I have 3 Pis in Docker Swarm. Yep. That's a big thing. I would say again for the Pi is that they're so affordable, and being able to play with test systems where you want to test out scaling and failovers. Instead of needing to set up multiple VMs or something, you can test it with actual physical devices, which is pretty cool. And it's affordable. You don't have to buy a bunch of servers and have them laying around, taking up a crap ton of space and creating heat and sucking in power. So another use case for the Pi. Okay. So it installed, it rebooted, And by that logic, we should have Open Media Vault ready to go. Not quite yet. What did we do wrong? I think this happened last time where it didn't actually reboot. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let me see something real quick. Because the last time I did this, it was really strange. I set up a static IP on my Pi, and then when it rebooted with Open Media Vault, it assigned it a different IP address. So let's see if it did that again. I hear the drive spinning up though, so maybe it just didn't finish rebooting. Let's see. Not yet. I'm doing this off screen because it has my public IP on the pfSense page, so give me 1 second. Let me see if 10.0.0.30 is actually online. It is online. So what's the dealio? Oh, there we go. Okay, it just hadn't finished rebooting. Okay, there we are. Rippy the Gator. Starting to buy parts for my home server. I've been looking at the Xeon E5 2683V4 on eBay, looking to run VMs, mostly Pi-hole, TrueNAS, Plex, etc. Is this a good option? 2683. Let me see. Ooh, something stuck in my throat. Ooh. Okay, so what are we looking at? That's definitely not how much they cost. 16 cores, 32 threads, it's a shit ton. Max turbo, 3 gigahertz, not terrible, but obviously not great. It's a V4, so it's going to have better IPCs than the older stuff. You do get a DDR4 RAM with it, so that's a plus. 120 watts. I mean, pretty good. I mean, obviously 16 cores, 32 threads is awesome. 3 gigahertz is decent. The IPCs are better than the older stuff, and 120 watts is decent. So yeah, I mean, this is a good chip. If you can find it for a good price, I don't know what these go for. If I had to guess, I'd say like, what, like $180, $200? Pair it with a nice X99 motherboard. Wait, are these 1150? Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, so an X99 motherboard, you'd be good. I just use Pi 3 for USB over IP, saw a few projects on it. Yeah, the KVMs for the Pis are cool. That's something I want to look into. Sarkawan, you're going to have to correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Regarding the PoE hats, I recommend not to go with the official PoE hat. It blocks the pins, and the built-in fan is noisy. There are alternates where it keeps the pins free, and you can put a Noctua on it. I actually have an extra Noctua 40mm laying around, so that'd be cool. Something more complicated, using Bash with variables and backup capabilities. Yeah, so that'll be legit. Alex, welcome. Are there any downsides to using an open docking station 24/7 as a NAS replacement with the Pi? Are there any downsides using an open docking station Oh, are you talking about like one of these? Um, I mean, dust. Obviously, you don't want dust getting in there. Um, you don't have any airflow across the drives. They are in the open, so that's fine, but they can get hot under constant use. I would recommend if this is going to be, hit heavily as a backup server or something, just get a USB plug-in fan just to get some airflow across it. Um, I mean, just being exposed to the elements, but honestly, not not too bad. Um, Open Media Vault. Nah, I'm good. So yeah, this was one of the things I actually brought up in my Open Media Vault first impressions video is that when you open Media Vault, the home screen is just a settings page. And they changed that in 6, which I guess this is 6. Actually, I assume this is 6. But they ask you, what do you want to see? And CPU utilization is cool. File system status is cool. Memory and server status, services status. And now your homepage is actually a useful dashboard, which is good. So another cool thing is Open Media Vaults or OMV Extras is included by default in here, which is again convenient. I mean, it's not hard to get, but it's always nice when something like that is included, and it just adds so many, or just adds such important features to it that it makes sense for it to be included. So the first thing, let's just go ahead and get Docker installed. I think installing Open Media Vault changes the network system. Yeah, I think it does something funky with it. Last time, it was weird because it has Wi-Fi built in, so it had 2 separate IP addresses, and I think it was getting confused between which one to use, and one was set to static, but it was triggering I don't know, it was weird, but I mean, it's not a huge problem. It worked. Much easier to install on a freaking Raspberry Pi than it was on my virtual machine. Currently been saving URLs in Excel over the year of every video I like and watch, adding that to the list every day. When I use YouTube Download, it'll read my list, figure out or find the best quality and metadata, archive, finish. Nice. So you have kind of your own backup of YouTube videos that you want to watch. You can have offline as well. It's pretty cool. 144 or $140 Canadian right now. Which is I don't know what that translates to USD. I'm seeing them for $100 to $120. Yeah, that's not bad at all. $100 for 16 threads, 32 cores, version 4 of the E5 Xeons that's freaking solid. Yeah, like the one behind you. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't run this as like a production as your main NAS or anything. I mean, you can. I'm not shaming anybody who's running that, but if you have the means to put your hard drives in a dedicated case with proper airflow and out of the elements, then you're going to want to do that. But if you're running this, it should work fine. I mean, much nicer dashboard. Yeah, I agree. I really like OMV6's dashboard. Have you ever used Yacht instead of Portainer? That was one thing I was going to bring up in here. I guess this is done. I saw Yacht in here, and I've never heard of Yacht. So we can try it. Let me install Port. Is it a one or the other thing? I assume not. I mean, they're just orchestrators, right? They just key off of the host Docker environment. So let's install Portainer. Yeah, I saw Yacht. I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. Nah, shame. Nah, dude, I don't. I will be the last person to shame anybody's setup. Um, I am a big proponent of getting what hardware works for you and using whatever software works for you. If it's not the most optimal, then it doesn't matter. Like people seem to think that When you're setting up something, it needs to be the most optimal and most efficient. Like if you're not doing it the exact efficient way, then it's stupid. Like no, if it's comfortable for you and it works for you, then who cares? Like if you want to run all your shit on on dedicated VMs, yeah, I'm sure you know it's not the most efficient way, but if that's how you like to run it and it's comfortable for you, then do it. Like it's you do you. Use this NAS. This NAS is way better. Yeah. Okay, so we have Portainer, Docker's running, Portainer's running. Let me set up the file systems real quick. So if we go to, actually, let me turn off the auto log off thing. Don't log me out. And now I noticed the apply thing is like much more inviting. Kind of less annoying, but still a little annoying. I have to post my home lab once I get the HM60 in and built. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that should be coming in soon. You ordered it. It was shipped, what, like last week, right? I guess with the holidays, it's backed up and shipping. But CPUs I've got are 4930K, dual X5675s, a Ryzen 1700X. I'm all over the place for processors. I mean, you got it covered. You got the Intel Xeons, and you've got the AMD Ryzens, all of which are good processors. I mean, yeah, 4930K is fourth generation core core, what do they call them? You know what I mean, 4000 series, but they're still solid processors. I have a 4770 over there that I have to figure out what to do with. And you'll know the story if you were in the last stream that when I was building the freaking backup server, I thought the whole time I had a 1240L in there, a Xeon. And then when I went into the BIOS, it was like, nah, that's a 4770. I was like, shit. I had to turn it off. Luckily, I could take the cooler off without pulling the entire motherboard out and swap in the actual Xeon. But yeah, so now I have a 4770 laying around. I'll be the only user, and it'll be used for documents, photos, and some other stuff like small backups. Nothing special and not heavy use. Yeah, I mean, these will work perfectly fine. Like I said, if you're hammering them for multiple users constantly and running a crap ton of services, then I'd recommend splurging for a case and a proper environment for them. But I mean, if you're running it, it's in this, you're not going to see any major problems with it. Okay, so disks. We should have three. We do. We have our boot, we have our 2 terabyte, and we have our 1 terabyte. So let's, these are already formatted, I think. Let's see if the file systems are still on there. They are not. So let's clean the disks. We'll wipe them. Yeah, the UI for OpenMedia Vault 6 is just so much better. Overall, like the feeling of it is similar to 5, but it's just more inviting. I don't know, they changed up the colors, they changed up the fonts, the icons, they made it a bit more streamlined, and just the dashboard makes it so much nicer to look at. And that's a big thing, you know, when using software. A lot of people will say, well, I don't care how it looks, you know, as long as it works. And I'm guilty of saying that myself. But, you know, subconsciously, when we first open a software and look at it and get a feel for it, that's going to, you know, be your first impression. That's a big deal in a lot of things. And software doesn't escape that. So this I did last time and it cleared it, but it never gave me a confirmation. So I think it was good. Like I hear it I could hear it spinning a bit and then it stopped. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's saying 11 megabytes per second, but it just stops. So I don't know what's going on there. I know there's nothing on these discs. They've been wiped before, so whatever. um, Rock and roll Hamburg. I have to go to bed. It's 1 o'clock here in Germany. Man, I got a weird amount of German viewers, which is cool. 1 o'clock here in Germany. I have to go watch the rest of the stream later. Have a nice time. Bye. I appreciate you stopping by, my man. Have a good slumber. And yeah, catch the stream. It'll be on the channel after. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. I watched a stream. First thing I watched when I discovered your channel. Wow. So you hadn't seen any of my videos before, but you saw a stream. That's interesting. Pretty cool. So okay, so normally I would do some type of raid. I'm like super paranoid about setting up file systems and not having some type of RAID configuration, but considering these drives aren't going to be the ones that I'm going to use once my actual drives come in this week, my two 8 terabyte ones, we're not going to bother trying to set up some type of RAID on these, especially because there's only two and they're different sizes and it's not really worth it. Plus it takes forever to build, so we're not going to do that now on stream. Kind of pointless. We can set up a file system, so let's go ahead and do that. Just do the 1 terabyte one. And from here, you can pick different file systems you want. There's also plugins if you want to go with like ZFS or something. But yeah, ZFS on a Raspberry Pi does not sound like the play. ZFS is more hardware intensive, especially with RAM. And having only 4 gigs of RAM on here doesn't make for the best ZFS setup. So I traditionally just go with ext4 or ButterFS. ButterFS is just a solid all-around file system. And that's what we're going to pick here. All right, that was quick. So now we just mount that. Bada bing, usage warning, threshold 85, sure. Yep. And apply. Yep. Hi from Kuwait. Oh, it's 2:50 a.m. here. Welcome. What is it, 3 Asmio? I apologize. Asmio. I appreciate you stopping by. Kuwait. That's the first for me in the chat for sure. But welcome. Good morning, or I guess it'd be either an early morning or a late night for you over there. If software has ugly UI, then I simply don't use it if I can avoid it. Usability is not optimal for me. Yeah, a lot of people feel strongly about UIs, and if you bring that sentiment to like a Linux forum, you will get roasted, because for some reason there's this weird stigma. Like if you use a UI or you like UIs, then or a GUI, then you're lesser. Like you're not an actual Linux user if you don't do everything in the command line. So I don't feel that way. I like UIs. I also am comfortable with using the command line when necessary. So I go either way. What's your opinion of Western Digital Red NAS drives? Are they good or bad? What do you think? I know the big deal came out with Western Digital Reds, how they weren't marketing them. They were shingled magnetic or SMRs drives, and they weren't saying that, so people got really mad about it, which makes sense. But that was probably at this point like 2 years ago, and I think Western Digital has done the best job now of letting you know right off the bat if a drive is SMR or CMR. So I think I've never had a problem with Western Digital drives. I think they're good drives. The Western Digital Red line is certainly fine. They're affordable for what you get. If you are willing to go with SMR drives, then you can get really good deals on their red lineup. They have the red pros, which I don't know the exact difference is between the reds and the reds pro. I don't know if one's CMR and one's SMR, or if one just has a certain threshold with like caching and capacity. But yeah, I mean, if you just want a lot of storage and it's going to be a backup and you don't really care about accessing or like read speeds um, on a daily basis, then going with a Western Digital Red SMR drive is perfectly fine. ZFS would work better with the 8 gig Pi, yeah, for sure. Just depends on how much storage you throw at it, but yeah, the more RAM you have in ZFS, the better. Western Digital Reds are good as long as you can get SMR. Yeah, I mean, SMR is obviously going to be worse, but if you are on a budget and you just want a crap load of space as like cold storage or just as your offsite backup or something you're not going to be accessing a lot, then that's what they're designed for. Not necessarily what they're designed for, but that's a perfectly good use case for going with a cheaper SMR drive. 2 types of discs come from Western Digital, shingled and conventional. Yeah. Watching your channel made me want to build a home server again. That's awesome. I hope you get the opportunity to do that. I've made a video about my over the top couple $1,000 Epic system that I've built, and I've made a video about doing a home server on a Raspberry Pi. So whatever route you want to go, somewhere in between, as long as it fits your use case and your budget, then that's awesome. Got a bug out too. Almost midnight here in Scotland. Catch up tomorrow, dude. Good luck. Appreciate that, Nick. Have a good night. Plasma, more cache and faster speeds. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm gonna try to play around with a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, go for it. Raspberry Pis are awesome. 100%. Even if you want to just install standard Raspberry Pi OS and use it with a GUI, you can simply just load Docker onto it, install Docker, run an orchestrator like Portainer, which I haven't looked at yet. And then you have a nice little Raspberry Pi GUI and also running Docker to install a bunch of services and do a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. So let's go into OMV extras. So we should have Portainer up and run. I installed it already, right? Yeah, okay. We're in. Okay, so just like that, we have Docker, Portainer running on our Raspberry Pi Open Media Vault. If we go and look at our dashboard, we can see what our CPU utilization is at. 22% hanging out, chilling. We've only used 321 megabytes of our RAM. So obviously we're not doing anything on it, so that makes sense. Let's create a shared drive and test the speeds real quick. So what we're going to do is go to storage. We're going to go to shared folders. We're going to create one. Am I doing this in the right order? Actually, let's create a user first. It's a standard one that I use for my home network. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. Then we're going to go to, we got to apply. Yes. Then we need to turn on SMB. I use Samba as my network sharing protocol. If you go with something else, if you like iSCSI, I don't think iSCSI is in Open Media Vault by default, but I'm sure there's a plugin. So let's go ahead and turn on Samba. Enabled. Save. Okay. Let's see. What did I miss? What did I miss? Got a 7700K laying around in an old PC. Gonna make it a main server. 7700K is what I actually started my channel on. If you'll look, I believe my first ever video on my channel was about upgrading my 7700K to a 9900K. So I had that processor for a long time. The German tech channels are boring. I've never found a good German tech or Linux channel. I can't say that I've browsed um, the German tech world, considering I don't speak German. But hey, if that's what it took to get you to my channel, I appreciate that. Alex, yeah, I know. That's why I found him. Are you from Germany as well? I don't know if it's Alex or Alex. MForce, what's your preferred RAID file system? ButterFS, XFS, ZFS. I use ZFS on my main server running TrueNAS, and I just like ZFS. I know it's more resource hungry, but the performance you get out of ZFS, I think is well worth it, especially in a production system. For my backup system, I'm running ButterFS just because it's a backup system. I don't need I don't have really high-end hardware in it. Not saying that you need super high-end hardware to run ZFS, but I didn't think it was worth it for a backup system. So I'm running ButterFS in my backup system and ZFS in my production system. It's almost midnight in England as well, but no work tomorrow. And I had a nap before the stream started, so hope to stay till the end. Well, awesome, man. I'm a big fan of naps, so I feel you on that. You're just sipping at that RAM. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. There's nothing going on right now. Let me go ahead. Let's create this share. Oh wait, we have to. This was different from last time, I think. So you have to go into storage first. I believe. Wait, storage, shared folders first, and create a shared folder. So we'll call this one. I guess as is tradition with my streams and naming things, we'll name this after someone in chat. So Starkey, you've been pretty active. This one's going to be the Starkey, I spell that right. This one's going to be the Starkey Parky 3000. And yeah, we're going to go with that file system that we created, just a basic path, and apply. So now I have a shared folder. Actually, we have to go into Samba and set that up, but we have a shared folder within Open Media Vault. So now if we go in here, whoops, shares, let's create one. Shared folder we created, comment, Starkey 3000's personal shared folder of surprises. Surprise. Look, dude, I like math. I can't spell. Public no, browsable. I don't care about all this stuff. Sure. Okay. Actually, did we set the permissions on it? Let's go ahead and do that. I'm thinking of making a Raspberry Pi NAS with 2 terabyte SSD and use SyncThing to sync the media folder with my main server. Yeah, I use SyncThing personally. It's the best thing ever. I'm a big fan of SyncThing. It runs on my main server to back everything up to my backup server, and it works great. Oh wow, Sam got a 7700K. Still, dude, 7700K was like super popular. That in the actually, so my path was I had a 2600K for a long time, and then I upgraded to a 7700K and had that for a good while, and then upgraded to a 9900K. And for some stupid reason, I upgraded from a 9900K to what I have now, which is a Ryzen 9 5950X. So, oh snap! What up? Asmio, $30. Loving your content. Keep up the good work, bud. Hey man, I appreciate that a whole lot, my friend. Awesome to see you in here chatting. To drop some dollars like that, it means a lot. I appreciate that. Will certainly help for me to buy some cool shit to make videos on. So again, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Where would I miss? Let me get the setup. I'll hop back and chat in a second. So let me make sure the permissions are set up correctly. I think you do it in here. We can turn on inherit permissions. It's fine. Where? I think it's in users where you actually set up the permissions, right? So like in here, users. Where do you set up shared access? Is it under, oh, privileges? Okay, there we go. Under storage shared folder. I think in Open Media Vault 5, it was actually a bit more streamlined than this, but okay, service read write, pi read write. It's a group. Yeah, okay, sure. Save, apply. Yes. Okay. My 4930K was new when I bought it back in 2014. Put a huge burnt a huge hole in my wallet. Yeah. And think of how much freaking computer parts are now, especially graphics cards. I remember when I bought my GTX 580, which was the top of the line when it came out. I was like, man, I'm going all out for this PC build. I'm getting the best of the best. And the top of the line card from NVIDIA at the time was a GTX 580. I bought it, and I think it was like $400. $400 for NVIDIA's top of the line graphics card. Look at it now. Freaking 3090 is, what do they retail at right now? Not what they said MSRP is, and not what Scalpers is, but like to get it on Newegg, I don't think you can find one under like $1,800. So yeah, it's insane, the prices these days. Dude, I'm loving your video. You got me into building serving, especially Raz. Thinking of using Proxmox for my main server because of your video, which you explained why you use Proxmox. Yeah, I love Proxmox. I think all of the hypervisors, the popular ones, are good in their own right. Proxmox, I'm comfortable with it, so I'm a little biased, but I like the flexibility of it. And it's not as inviting in terms of the GUI, but I'm just super comfortable with it. And everything I've needed to do in it, I've been able to do. Unraid is what I would probably recommend to most people just getting into their first home server. I know it costs money, but it's extremely inviting and easy to use, and the community behind it is great. So Unraid's a good option. TrueNAS is harder to recommend because it's more specifically targeted for people who want to use it or want a NAS. They've recently released TrueNAS Scale, which I think is still in beta, which is built on Linux instead of FreeBSD. So it's catering more towards being an actual hypervisor with Docker and everything. So Yeah, I mean they all do. They all will get you where you need to go for the most part. I'm honored. Oh, it's from the okay. Yeah, Starkey, you're famous now. Can you please make some videos on PCIe, NVMe, SATA expansion cards? I've made one. I do want to get a for a full-fledged PCI 4.0 4x4 expansion card. I got quite a few projects that I need to get to first, but yeah, I'm always looking for ideas. So that will be something I will consider. As a German, you have to look to international channels to find good tutorials. I wonder why that is. I wonder if that's just like a cultural thing or what. GPU I got sitting in my gaming rig is a GTX 760, mostly powerful GPU is a P2000 in my workstation. Man, 760. I when my 580 died, that's actually the graphics card that I upgraded to. Cheapest 3090 on Newegg is God, 3,000. I feel like that's got to be like not retail though, right? Is that just one of their like stupid third-party sellers that's marking it up? Now I have to go. I'm working 5 hours. Hey, I appreciate you sticking around. Rock and roll Hamburg. Hamburg, I believe would be a better pronunciation. Probably still sucks, but I appreciate you stopping by, my man. Cheers from Texas in the United States all the way to Germany. Okay, so we have this set up. So now we should be able to access it. So let's make sure we can do that. IP address. It's not that. That's muscle memory. I'm used to typing in 33. What do we call it? Starkey Parky. Real clever name, I know. Starkey Parky 3000. Service. All right, we're in. Make sure we have write access. We should. Yep. Okay. Let's transfer a file over and see how things go down. All right, let's go from our TrueNAS setup, which is running on 10 gig connection, solid state drives. So we're not going to be bottlenecked by this. So we'll take here's actually my project for my Minecraft Docker video that I just recently released. Let's take a video clip from there, which this one is almost 100 gigs. So this is like optimal scenario, one large file. And on OneDrive, it looks like we're going to get around, what, 40 to 50 megabytes per second, which, I mean, with an older drive like this, from one NAS to another, over a Raspberry Pi connection, I mean, it's fine. Looks like we're sitting around 50. So it's on a 1 gig connection. So theoretical max, we're looking at like 120 megabytes per second. So this is honestly about what I would expect out of this. What's our stats looking like while we're doing this? 43. I assume it's gonna go down a bit. We'll see what it's sitting at. I saw 3080 going for over 700 euro used in CEX. 3080 going. Yeah, that's high. I mean, you're not going to get a graphics card right now for MSRP. It's just even the stores that are selling them, like the Micro Centers and the Newegg's, aren't selling them at MSRP. Yeah, I got my 3080. I'm running a 3080 Ti in there, and I paid 1,800 for it. And I mean, it is a a high-end version. It's a Aorus, and it's got a built-in water block. So, but still, yeah, that's insanely expensive. It's disgusting right now how much graphics cards are. Um, what are your thoughts on Synology devices? Synology devices are awesome. I mean, no lie, I just recommended one of my friends, going way back. Um, he's big into photography and makes videos. That's what he does for a living. And um, he's not the most like tech sided person. I mean, he's good with a camera. He makes a great living doing that. But when it comes to computers and stuff, he's kind of like, man, I don't know, just I need some setup because he stores all of his stuff on just like regular drives. So he tweeted out something and I let him know like, hey, that's kind of like my wheelhouse. So I'm down to help you out. So the techie nerd inside of me wanted to be like, yeah, let's set you up with a true NAS system, RAID 10, 128 gigs of RAM, a nice processor, and it's going to be, awesome. But then, you have to step back and think this is for somebody who wants a plug and play solution to back up his files, and it to be easy to use, like plug and play, super easy. And I think that's what Synology brings to the table. And you can argue, yes, TrueNAS and some of these things are easy to use, but that's it. They're for techie people. They're people who like to mess around. They're comfortable if something messes up and they need to troubleshoot. TrueNAS or Synology devices are designed for the people who don't necessarily care about that stuff. They want to plug in their hard drives, turn it on, click a few things to set up a share, and be good to go. So while I wanted to set him up with a really cool TrueNAS system, I recommended him to go Synology, and that's what he did. He bought an 8-bay Synology, I don't even know what you call it, setup. He bought 4 12 terabyte drives to start with, and a 10 gigabit card to put in the Synology device, and a Thunderbolt to 10 gigabit adapter for his MacBook. So he'll have 10 gigabit transfers between working on his MacBook, where he does all of his work, and his Synology NAS. So a long-winded answer is I think they're great for people who don't necessarily want to get into the hypervisor side and the true NAS kind of setups. If you have somebody else doing it for you, if you're in a business environment too, where you have a dedicated IT group or person to do all that stuff for you, yeah, it makes sense. But if you're just a simple user, Synologies are honestly really, really great. Let's see. If you get Synology, be sure to get one with NVMe expansion for faster writing, caching. Yeah, he also told him to get. He's got 256 gigabyte NVMe drives to put in there for caching. I'm thinking about getting one to keep my data safe. I'm always messing with my server, and I'm afraid I'll mess up my data somehow. Yeah, I want to get my hands on a Synology. I've played with one a long time ago. I used to have one. I sold it, but this was years and years ago, and they've come a long way from what I've seen. So I'd like to get my hands on one. I don't know how many times I've added one to my cart and then been like, nah, I got enough of storage device things laying around. So I will eventually get to getting my own Synology to play with. But oh my gosh, Asmio again with the $30, dude. I appreciate it. Do you think 8 gigabyte Raspberry Pi can handle Pi-hole plus NAS plus SyncThing? Absolutely. If you're going with Pi-hole, honestly doesn't require a lot of resources at all. It's surprisingly efficient. I know people who run it on a freaking like a Raspberry Pi Zero, which is a even streamlined version of I think a Raspberry Pi 3. So yeah, no, a Raspberry Pi will for sure handle it. SyncThing, I've run it. We can actually install SyncThing on here. We can do that now, and I can show you how that works. But yeah, all that stuff will work perfectly fine. reach out to Synology. They seem to send them to YouTubers for review. Man, I wish. I've had a couple of cool companies reach out to me over the year and a half I've been doing this. The biggest one was TP-Link when they emailed me like, "Hey, can we send you some stuff to review?" I was like, "Why?" So that was the biggest one. If Synology hit me up, that would be awesome. But yeah, Asmio for sure. An 8 GB Raspberry Pi will be perfect for that. So let's actually go ahead and do that. So we'll go into Docker. Let me cancel this. We obviously don't need this transferring over. It looks like it's sitting around, it's jumping up to 60. So yeah, 60, 60, 70. So it's sitting between like 50 and 70, which is pretty good. So we're going to cancel this. We don't, I was just testing the speeds. Die. So going into Docker, you can use Portainer if you want. You can use the Docker CLI if you want. Sync thing, I believe, has a pretty straightforward Docker Compose setup. So let's look up sync thing, Docker Compose. So they do have, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they have an easy to set up. Yeah, here's their compose file. So the cool thing about Portainer is you don't really need to create a YAML file. You can if you want, but with Portainer you can go in and go to, whoops, let's go here. Nope, that's not what I want. Home, local. You can go into app templates and you can go to custom and create your own. And you can call this one sync thing. And this is sync thing. Still sync thing. We'll call this. We'll give him a shout out. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but Asmio sync thing. And so yeah, you can just paste that. So I don't know how familiar you are with Docker Compose, but I'm just going through this for people in the chat who may not be super familiar with using Docker Compose. So we'll kind of walk through this together. But version 2.1, I think that's what Portainer right now supports. I don't think they support 3.0 yet. I could be wrong. Last time I checked, they're still on 2, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. We don't need the host name's fine. So image, leave this alone. Container name, we'll keep the shout out going. We'll give it the proper container name. Environment variables, this is standard 1000, 1000. You can look up what user ID you want it to run as. 1000's normal, I think, or root, or might be for a specific sync thing user. I should probably know that, but we are in the United States. No, it's not. What is it? It's America, Chicago. America, Chicago. So this is the important part, the volumes. This is where you specify where you want to look for your data. So one is going to be the path to your data, and one is going to be where you want to kind of store that data. So in my scenario, my data is on another device that is set up using Samba Share, so I would need to pass that mounted location to here. So there's two ways you can go about this. One would be to mount the Samba Share directly on the host itself. So in your fstab file, like if we went and let's SSH into here. So one of the options would be no, okay. Is my caps lock on? What's going on? I can't tell if caps lock is on. I don't think it's on. There we go. Okay. Let me jump back in here right quick. Probably missed some things. Um, if only GPU retailers did the same. Oh, what did we miss? We do pre-orders when they come in. Sometimes we have customers trying to buy more than one, and we just refuse them straight up. Yeah, I know a couple. So Micro Center will only let you buy one. Newegg does the shuffle, so they're kind of at least doing something. But from what I've seen, the main problem is like Nvidia. They're just selling to miners who want to buy like contracted amounts, like a crap ton of them, which just sucks. Um, Man, is that another freaking spam? People freaking, dude, that's so. I gotta go in after the stream. There's a way you can block specific keywords in the chat, so I gotta do that. I'm not familiar with Docker yet, but I'm good with Linux. I use them. My older server, Pentium 4 and 3. Oh, we're getting real old school with our Pentiums. But it's been a long time since I need to relearn all this stuff. Docker, it can be intimidating, but Open Media Vault and a lot of hypervisors set it up in a way to where it's easy to use if you want to get things done. Like with Portainer, for example, everything's in the GUI. You can do it all through there. But if you do go this route and have questions, there's a Discord in the description. We have a Raid Owl Discord. Feel free to hop in there and ask questions. There's always people in there willing to help. So don't be afraid to ask questions if you get stuck on something. So yeah, you could go in here, like I was saying before, if you want to have SyncThing look at a share, like a Samba share. That's currently how I'm using it. There's two ways you could go about it. This route would be to where you can go into your fstab file, so etc fstab. If you go in here and add a CIFS, CIFS mount, you can look up the command for that. It's pretty straightforward, but set up a mount to that directly, so that's on the host system, and you can use that mount location to pass a binding mount in Docker. So in Docker, there's kind of two ways I use to pass data into a container. You can use a volume or you can use a binding mount. So a volume is basically just a named volume you can specify in the Docker environment. So you can create a volume and do a share directly on that volume and then just pass the volume in, or like this route, you can set up the share on your host, and then when you pass it in, just pass that location directly into your container. And I know it's confusing. That's not a really good way of explaining it. I don't really have a good example to show right now, but actually I could. Let me see. Let me make sure I don't have anything on there that I'm not allowed to show. I'll show you my production version of it. That's not what I wanted. So oh. Okay, so let's take a look at my production one. You'll notice the production one by the blinding light mode. So here's the default Docker Compose that they give you, SyncThing gives you. And here is the production one that I'm using. And you can see it's very, you can see I actually still have it set to Europe, London, which needs to be updated. So I will do that at some point. But here you can see that we are passing in. So here's a config file. This is just creating a SyncThing config file on our Docker host. And here is where we are passing in our drives that we want to monitor. So Network HDD is my ZFS network hard drive pool. Network SSD, same thing, but with solid state drives. And Plex Data is another RAID 1 configuration on that server. So here you can see I'm passing them in data 1, data 2, data 3. You can name them whatever you want. Turns out you don't have to name them data 1, data 2, data 3. And once you pass those in, they'll be seen by the container and act as a normal device, and you can sync them to your system itself. So it's pretty awesome. Is SyncThing faster than rsync? I've never compared them. I've briefly tested rsync. SyncThing works, from what I've seen, as fast as your network connection allows. So my connection is a 1 gigabit to my backup server, and it runs at the full 120 megabytes per second down. So, I mean, it purely depends on the files you're transferring, your network configuration, your RAID setup, the drives you use. There's a lot of variables, but in all things equal, no, I haven't tested rsync versus SyncThing. So, would you recommend Docker over LXC containers? I like Docker containers just because the support and environment, I feel, is more. I hate to keep using the word inviting because it's not really a good indication on its performance and usefulness overall, but it just is. It's the Docker environment is more inviting. There's more documentation. It seems like the community is there's more help if you need help on certain things. I don't know. I mean, they essentially in the grand scheme of things do the same thing, containerizing processes to make it easier to scale and migrate. But I would just go with Docker. I think it's extremely easy to use, or not extremely easy to use. That's after you get to use it and become more comfortable with it. It obviously gets easier to use, and you can see the full potential and using it to its full potential. It's just super convenient. I got my sister a Pi for her movie watching, my cuz for his retro gaming, and my mate for his family photo server. Yeah, retro gaming and photo server are two things I want to check out with the Pi. Somebody was mentioning this in the Discord today about checking out photo storage services that are, or photo organization services that you can run. And I personally use Lightroom because I have the Adobe set up because I use Premiere to edit, and Photoshop to edit photos, and Lightroom to store all my photos. And Lightroom is just by far, I think, Adobe's best piece of software. So Lightroom, I think, is amazing. It stores all my photos and you can edit within inside of it. So I don't think I'll ever be looking for something. I'm not going to say ever, but currently I'm not looking for anything to replace that. But it would be cool to see what open source options are out there for photo organization. Another way to skin this cat is an NFS share mounted to the client system in the container. So yeah, you could mount. So yeah, directly. Yeah, it would be almost the same concept, mounting it to the host and then passing that through. But yeah, again, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, depending on how your configuration is set up. But that's kind of how I'm doing it. And you can see these right here are just named volumes. So if I go into my volumes, you'll see them here. I don't want to click on this because I don't know if it has my password in the config. What's up?
You're like some butchered dumpling.
What did you do to them?
They stuck to the pan a little bit.
Are these the chicken and the...
Yeah, whatever the Costco ones are.
They were good at Costco.
Yeah, I mean they taste good.
What sauce is this?
Like sauce.
Oh, we have dumpling sauce?
I mixed two of them together.
Oh my
'cause
gosh.
I didn't really like either of them on their own.
Such a chef.
I know.
I mean, they're good.
Or one could argue I'm not a chef with how I butchered those, but
No, just say they're homemade.
they taste good.
It adds pizzazz. We got some food delivered, guys. Check it out. We got some homemade. Just pretend you didn't hear anything that just went down. Some homemade chicken and basil. Chicken and cilantro. I literally ate it and didn't even know. Let's see. Stop focusing on my face. They're homemade. That's why they're not uniform, okay? All right?
Not true.
They don't know. Okay, they're not homemade, but they're good, so that's okay. All right, so turning into a mukbang stream for like a second. Hold on. Okay, what was I doing here? Yeah, it has my password in the configuration, so I can't really show it here. But yeah, if you need help setting this stuff up, I apologize for not doing it live on stream right now, but I would have to do some configuration off screen, and it'd be kind of a pain to get that set up right now. But again, anybody who has any questions on setting stuff up in Docker, getting other services set up, feel free to ask in the Discord. I'm always on there hanging out, either just talking about tech or helping people troubleshoot, and we have other users in there who are more than willing to help out as well. So let's see, what did I miss? Have you considered using the auto shutdown plug and to reduce power consumption when battery's solar powered? So yeah, that would be a good idea. So if it's the auto shutdown, if it has like what do you call it, wake on LAN, that would be something to consider. So yeah, no, that'd be, because if it's running as a backup and I'm only running this like as a specified time, like at midnight or something, then yeah, there's no point of it to be on the entire day, especially if you can do wake from LAN. So yeah, it's a good idea. Do you know about Preminzer? I can't frickin' read. Do you know about Preminzer? I can't frickin' read. Why is that word blowing my mind? And have you tried setting it up with Portainer Docker? Obviously, I haven't heard of it if I can't say it. Is this a Raspberry Pi 4? Pi 4 is so hard to find right now. Yeah, I was surprised. It is a Pi 4. I went on the piHut.com or whatever website based out of the UK, and they had one in stock, or they had them in stock, so I snagged one. I was very surprised. Let's see. Yeah, 4 GB Pi 4. Food and tech. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need, right? All I need is like a beer or an old fashioned or something. Yeah, so let me look up what you were talking about. Who asked that? Fazan King? I have a Raspberry Pi 3 B Plus running OpenVIA Vault plus Portainer plus Sonar plus Radar, etc. Needs constant restart. RAM is not enough. B Plus only came with what, up to 2 GB of RAM? Yeah, I am also running on my main setup. So this is what I'm running. Here you can see my my processes that I'm running on my production server on Docker. So Minecraft server running Handbrake. This is a proxy creating not a virtual machine, a proxy creating container that is monitoring a folder. And if I drop certain files in there, it will create a low resolution proxy for me to edit them. So this is proxy in terms of videos, not proxy in terms of network. Sync thing, obviously, Little Link. This is my Little Link server. Shout out to Techno Tim. I'm using his image for this, and I can't really remember, what is it, links dot host owl dot net. Yeah, so this is my link tree where, you know, it's easier to just link people to this to check out all my links for everything, and it's self-hosted. So yeah, what else? Radar, jacket, sonar, regular stack, Portainer, obviously, Heimdall running as well, a local version and a global version, and then Guacamole. So yeah, that's my Docker stack, essentially, my Docker setup. What else? What else? 1 gigabyte of RAM. Oof. Let's see. Oh yeah, what was I gonna look up? So what did you tell me? Have I looked up this? What is this? Premium? Oh, is this what you're talking about? Premiumizer? Premiumizer? Download management tool for cloud downloads, which automatic downloading to your local network web interface to manage. I don't know what this is. Anonymous. Oh, okay. So it's a torrent thing. Okay, that makes sense. I have not used this. I like my Sonar jacket BitTorrent setup that I have going. Let's see. Yeah, download client. Okay. Man, the spammers are out today with their tech links. Okay. So yeah, we have Portainer running. One thing I wanted to do was see how it runs a Minecraft server. So I recently just did a video, obviously, setting up Minecraft and Docker. So we're gonna run that on the Pi and see how it handles running a simple Minecraft server. It's actually pretty good. So let's do that. So I know there's ways, there's third-party game server hosting things, but I like the way I did it. If you don't like the way I do it, there's a million other ways to do it. So I did it with Docker Compose. I'm actually going to open up my guide real quick. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I do is this, yeah. So this is our host. Let's create a directory for our Minecraft stuff. Let's create could have done this in one, but whatever. A spot for the plugins. I don't think we're going to use any plugins anyway. Let's cd into there. Nothing in there except plugins. Okay, so let's transfer the YAML file. Whoops. Oh, hey. Let's download the Docker Compose YAML. Download. Okay, so that's in our downloads. Let's open up another PowerShell. Let's go to our downloads. Oh God, so many. Okay, so we're going to transfer this over. It is what? Docker compose YAML pi at our IP. We're going to put that in our Minecraft directory. Permission denied. Oh, wait. I got to get permission to that directory. I'm just going to open it up. We'll do, we'll just do 777 on Minecraft. I don't know why I was thinking use sudo here. Okay. So now back in here. There you can see our Docker compose file. Let's see, what did I miss? Trey! Trey's in the house, guys. What up? Welcome, Trey. PowerShell gang now. Yeah, Trey, you convinced me. We're using PowerShell and Open Media Vault in the same stream. I'm basically like Trey 0.5 right now. Are you running Docker on Windows? No. No. I run it on my Mac. I don't have it running on any of my Windows machines. Let's see, what did I miss? Questions. Perhaps you should create a shell to make directories that don't exist to build it for you. Yeah, I could do a whole. I set this up like last week. I do have a shell. I have a script that backs up my volumes, so that's pretty cool. If you look at the guide, so in the guide, I talk about backing up using the backup script. So I do have a backup script in here. And this goes through and you can pass in these parameters, specifying a Docker volume you want to back up, the output directory you want to back it up to, from what container, if you want to clear the directory, and how many days you want to keep that backup for. There's a script here that does that. It's pretty cool, super useful. What else? What was I doing? Okay, let's take a look at the Docker compose file real quick. So, so here you can see the Docker compose file. There's not much to it. We do need to create, so here you can see in here, there's a named volume. So we do need to create that. And we could, so the reason I use the named volume for this is because this contains all the data for the players in the world and everything, and it's easy to use that script to back it up in the event that something breaks or something happens with the world and I want to revert to, I can simply just restore that volume. So that's why I have it as a named volume. So we're gonna create that here. But let's go through before real quick. So here's, you see the plugins, that's a binding mount. So here's the difference between a volume and a binding mount. This is specifying an exact path on the host you want to pass through. So the left side is the path on the host, and the right side of the colon is the path with inside the container. So everything that is in this folder on the host, once we're in the container, is going to be located directly in this /plugins location on the in the container. Ports, standard, EULA, true. You have to set that if you want to run it. Type, we're running bucket. There's different versions. I know people have been like, no, don't run bucket, run paper, run whatever. We're going to keep it at bucket for now, just because that's what my current one's running. I don't advocate for running this over something else. Like I said, I've played Minecraft for like a week. Enable whitelist, true. Enforce whitelist, true. If you're exposing this to the public, you're going to want to set those as well. But, you know, all this stuff can be found in my tutorial, which isn't the best way to do it. There's third-party ways, but this is the way that I like because it helped me learn a lot about Docker in the process. Might try it on Windows PC, which is way more powerful instead of the Pi 3. Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about Docker, right? Is that you can run it on a Linux machine, you can run it on a Pi, you can run it on your Mac, you can run it on Windows, you can run it in a virtualized environment, in a bare metal environment. And once you have everything set up, all the dependencies and everything are built into that image or compose file or the stack. So if you want to run it on something else, you just deploy it over there, assuming the dependencies work on, you know, that system. If you're going from an x86 Windows machine to a Raspberry Pi ARM-based machine, you might have some issues with certain dependencies not working, depending on if they're supported on ARM or whatever architecture you're running. But for the most part, it's just straightforward to run. So yeah, this is our YAML. So remember, we need to create that volume. So it's Docker volume create Minecraft data. Again, I need to add, so there's a way you can add the user to the sudo list so that they don't have to enter sudo every time, but I don't feel like doing that right now. You got an SCP, yeah, okay, yeah. Where does, what did I miss? Miss something? Oh, yeah. I may have just gotten a chub. This is going to make a public server so we can all play, because I may just have to purchase Minecraft if it is. That's something I'll definitely consider. I mean, this one isn't going to be public facing yet, but if there's enough people that want to hang out and play Minecraft, I'm certainly down to spin up a server. I've got another script idea which creates a text document which lists every file to back up under a maximum file size for LTO. Backup files not accessed over time get marked and deleted for saving space. I get scared when automating automating deletes or marking deletes. But yeah, I mean, if that fits your production environment or your environment that you're running it in, then yeah, go ahead. I never tried Minecraft. It's too pixelated. It is quite literally the definition of a pixelated game. That's for sure. For survival games, you try Ark or Valheim. I've seen both of those. I honestly don't play video games as much as I used to, but I certainly watch streams a lot. So yeah, Ark, I've seen a lot of people play Ark before. Valheim, I haven't watched much, but I've seen a couple of videos on it. If you squint your eyes, Minecraft looks like 4K. You can actually run it in 4K ray traced, which is funny too. So, oh yeah, Minecraft 4K ray tracing. Well, I can't figure out what they're supposed to be. Is it a person or a zombie, or they all look the same? Yeah, it takes some, like I said, I've gone my whole video game playing life without playing Minecraft up until like a week or so ago. So, but it's fun. It's fun to hang out. It can be as hard or as easy as you want it to be. You can get into it and just create things to express your artistic talents, or you can do like the survival aspect of it. And there's so many mods like for different game modes. So it's honestly really impressive. So, okay, we have everything we need. So, what we're going to do now is just Docker compose up/d, and that's the command. When you run this, it will look for a Docker compose YAML file in the directory that you are currently in, and we have one, so it's going to run that. But we are going to also add force recreate, which I think is good to add, just in a habit, because if it already exists, it's going to kill it and rebuild it. We don't have one yet, but habit. Okay. I need to stop forgetting to add sudo. All right, so now it's going to build our Minecraft container. It's got to download all the stuff first. Obviously, it's the first time we're running it. I'm just bored. I want to keep myself busy. I really like to challenge myself in coding. Yeah, I don't blame you. Especially when you find something that's interesting to you, because there's a difference between being busy just for the sake of being busy versus being busy doing stuff that you actually like to do. So, yeah, especially if that thing's productive, like coding. I like coding, but I do it at work a lot. So I don't really do it much in my free time. If there's some cool projects that come out, or if there's something I really want to mess around with, then, I'll do it. But in my free time, I'm not really hardcore into development. I sent you a DM on Discord if you get the chance to look at it. Okay, yeah, I will take a look. Also, what the hell is going on? What is taking this so long? We good here? We good, Open Media Vault? We haven't crashed or anything, right? No, we're good. We are at 62% CPU usage, though. That is not the right one. What is going on here? Let's take a look at our Portainer instance to see what is going on. Yeah, let's leave. Containers. So it's trying to start. Let's see what the logs show. Yeah, I don't know if this is like a visual something. Let's let it do its thing for a bit. See what happens. Added your Discord server. Haven't messed with it yet, but looking forward to future chats. Yeah, for sure. That's what it's there for, man. Come hang out. Those last few dumplings are quite the they've been ripped apart. Have you tried Pi KVM for your servers? I have not. Somebody asked that in the Discord today. There's a really good video that Jeff Geerling did comparing Pi KVM versus Tiny Pilot. I haven't tried either. They both look good. One seems more, Tiny Pilot seems more intuitive, but it's like $300. So I have IPMI built into my server motherboard, so that's good enough for me for the most part, and just being able to SSH in. I have a VPN that I can remote into if I need to access my stuff outside. I haven't really had the pressing need for a KVM, a dedicated KVM like that. So, but yeah, Jeff Geerling, Pi KVM. Yeah, this video right here, really good comparison of Tiny Pilot versus Pi KVM. What OMV version of this? Oh, press escape in PowerShell. Is it just hung or something? Oh, it was like locked up, like waiting for input or something. Whoopsies. Um, what was I saying? Oh, what version? 6 point something, I would assume. Where? Here, help. About. Are you not going to tell me the version? Six point 0.6 hyphen 1. That is the version. What VPN do you use for remote in? OpenVPN. People use WireGuard and say it's faster or whatever, but I've enjoyed using OpenVPN. It works fine for me. It's built directly into, not built directly in, but pfSense has good integration with it. So yeah, or OpenVPN. Okay, so it should be up and running now. Unhealthy. See what happened. Oh, it's still not ready yet. It's taken a hot second. What's our usage look like? Ooh, yeah, we are full throttle. We're full throttle on the Pi. We're actually using some RAM now too. Shaitan? Is that what it said? What was the version name of it? Shaitan? I guess that's how you say it. Oh, really? Shaitan is, in my language, means the devil or Lucifer. Nice. I'm hoping that's not an indication of things to come on this version of Open Media Vault. Yeah, it's got an STD super unhealthy. Installed Minecraft on me. Raspberry Pis aren't the fastest. Yeah, no, I don't expect this to be like great. But I don't even think I have Minecraft. Oh, I do have Minecraft installed. I don't expect it to be great by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd be curious to see how it runs. I thought I caught COVID there. For size 62, yeah, I can't read that. And I know it's for Asmio. Kuwait. So what language would that be in Kuwait? Asking a lot for that poor little. Hey, all right. You know what? This is the big leagues. You gotta nut up or shut up. Still pinned at 100%. Oh, 99%. We're almost done. Let's go. Oh no, now we gotta wait. Wait, why are you doing this again? Okay. Uh, all right. Arabic. Okay. Yeah, I certainly cannot read that. That Pi 4 is trucking along like a champ. Yeah, it's certainly doing something. We'll give it another couple minutes, see if it can actually spin it up. It's building the nether realm for the world. How do you know that? Did I miss something? I guess I assume it said nether, or is that just common Minecraft knowledge? Block by block. Oh God,
Going down the
you
street.
scared me.
Going down the street.
Is that the going down the street dance?
Yep.
Okay. What are they doing? Nothing?
As far as I'm concerned, just hanging out.
Is Brenda over there?
She's supposed to be going over there.
So she's now?
I don't know. It's over there.
I need details.
I'm not there yet, so I can't tell you.
You're gonna have to report back to me.
Yeah, I'll report back once I get there.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, it's one of my friend's birthdays today. So she's going down the street. They live 3 houses down. She's going down the street to see what's going on over there. I'll probably join later. The wifey owl. Almost the wifey owl. We got January, February, March, April, May. We have 5 more months. 5 more months until officially the wife owl. Right now it's the fiance owl. What he said, it's in Arabic, greeting, which means peace be upon you. Al-salam. Hold on, let me, it's really small print. Al-salam alaikum. Ali, I can't, God, I'm butchering that. And I responded with alaikum assalam, which means peace be upon you too. Okay. Whose birthday? One of my friends. Nobody that's been featured on the channel. Oh yeah, I guess everybody doesn't know. Yeah. Personal life things. Yeah, I'm engaged. Since last September. Fiance owl doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah, wifey owl. Except the last person who I saw had their wife named after their channel didn't turn out so good. Does anybody understand the reference? Dude, it's doing this again. Oh no. Why is it doing this again? Oh, this one's going way faster. Does anybody know the YouTuber I'm talking about? His wife on the channel was kind of named after. Oh, yep. Damn, Trey. Trey nailed it. Yeah. Poor Kyle. Yeah, that was brutal. Looks like he's bounced back. I mean, I don't know him personally, but at least he's continuing to make stuff and he seems fine. Seems like he's been like working out and eating healthier and yeah. Hopefully he's doing well. Obviously nobody knows the oh look, it's running. Nobody knows the full details besides him, obviously, and his close friends and stuff, but yeah. Rough stuff. Okay, so we are running, right? Yep, we are up and running. So, play. Wow, it took 622 seconds. Hey, but we've done it. Why are my GPUs spinning up just loading Minecraft? Come on. Relax. This is the, let's see. We gave Starkey one, we gave Asmio one. Who's been in chat and has never gotten a named thing after him? Let's go with Hasai. Hasai 62 is that dude. Let's go. Oh my gosh, Asmio, you 10.0.0.30 is our server, so it should find it. Look, boom, there it is. Asmio again, $50, dude. Best of luck getting on the married side. I wish a prosperous life for you and your partner, and also genius kids. Best of luck, bud. Oh, I appreciate that, man, so much. Man, I don't know what else to say besides thank you. That means a lot. The message and obviously the money as well. Greatly, greatly appreciated. I don't do this for the money. I mean, I have a job and that pays for me to be able to do this. I do it to be able to interact with people. And if I can help them, that's enough for me. I also learn a lot of things from you guys as well. It encourages me to learn more myself and in turn pass it back to you guys. So again, I don't do this for the money, but it's certainly appreciated. Any financial support just makes it easier for me to create videos and get more projects underway. So again, super appreciated, man. Okay, so we have our server up and running. Let's hop in and see what happens. So let's take a look. Let's put the server here. Throw our stats over here. Hello? That doesn't look right. Oh. All right, we're in. We are in. We're playing the Minecraft. Guys, we're doing it. We're Minecrafting. What's the best way? Is it like F3? Look at the stats. Does that show anything useful? Is this showing you guys any useful information? Is there anything worth looking at here? That's a lot of numbers. Absolute mad lad, yeah. Asmio is the goat of this stream for sure. See if the pie blows up. Yeah, it's sitting right here. If you guys see smoke or fire or anything. With one player. Yeah, it's with one player right now. 98%. So it's definitely up. Well, just let's look at the logs before we hop back in. Something happened. Stop. I'm trying to read. Oh my God. Something happened. That is certainly a error message that is not going to make any sense to me. Okay, it's spun back up, so yeah, not looking too great. Let's see, can I hop back in? No further information. Okay, so it's dead, I assume. Let's see. Oh, it's restarting again. What if we run just like vanilla version? You think that'll help it? COVID, oh my God. I missed the beginning of the stream, but are you cooling the pie with something? No, it's just sitting in standard case. It does have some heat sinks on there, so nothing crazy. It's not running. It'd probably be more beneficial. So this is my other pie. It's running in the Argon 1 M.2 case. This is This is the one I used for my Raspberry Pi for a week desktop replacement build. So this is what I'd recommend. If I think it's like 50 bucks or 40 bucks. It includes the ability to add an M.2 drive and make it your boot drive. It'll run a lot faster. It does have a fan inside of it. It runs cooler. But there's other cases, there's other solutions. But this one I found is the most premium. Don't know why I hit it. Premium. And gives you a solid state drive to add and a built-in fan. So let's see what's going on here. All right, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna give it one more go. My Minecrafter namesake is going to kill the pie. Yeah, Hasai 62. It was not having that. Nah, just a little simple reboot. Maybe that's all it takes. We'll see. I think it did. Nah. Paper will actually run the best out of anything, really. I think it's just, let me check the documents. I think you just, here, we'll try to rebuild it with paper. I think the environment type, yeah, type is just paper. Let's try a paper server then, real quick. Let's see if that handles it any better. I'm going to here, we'll stop it. Make sure it's stopped. We don't need this anymore. Let's go edit our YAML. We'll change this to paper. And then just like last time, we can run same command, recreate. It's going to recreate the entire container. This time it doesn't have to download anything because we have all the images already downloaded. So if we refresh this, it should be rebuilding again, which it is. And let's see what happens. Okay, what did I miss? I saw that video. You're referring to the Raspberry Pi for a week. So my next for a week challenge, I think we're gonna go iPad. iPad for a week. Only iPad as a desktop replacement for an entire week. I think it will be easier than the Pi. I mean, it's obviously more powerful, but you're looking at a completely different like ecosystem and just user interface in general. So I don't know. I was honestly surprised by using the Pi for a week because my initial thoughts were that it was going to be really easy to get, basic stuff up and running. Maybe I was going to use like Parsec to connect to my game or my remote gaming stuff. I was going to set up try running some other games, some really lightweight games. And I thought that would be like pretty straightforward in that like editing video would be pretty much impossible. But it was the other way around, getting basic stuff set up, which looking back on it, I shouldn't have used the 64-bit version of Raspberry Pi based on Bullseye, because a lot of things weren't updated for it yet, which hindered some of that stuff, which was a really big mistake on my part. I think a lot of things would have went smoother if I just would have used a 32-bit version of Raspberry Pi OS. But getting a lot of that stuff set up was a pain in the ass. But video editing was surprisingly easy. Honestly, I was extremely shocked. Wait, is this already up and running? Wow, okay. Let's see. It's definitely not the ideal device to run a Minecraft server, yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and get the funeral arrangement set up for that pie. Yeah, no, it's gonna get yeeted, just like in the last video. Is there a case I can use for the Pi which I can attach 3 SATA SSDs for my Pi build? Couldn't find one. Yeah, they don't really make. You might be able to find something like this that's, you know, 3 or 4 hard drive ports to directly to USB. I am waiting. I did a Kickstarter of of the same people that make the Argon case. I backed this Kickstarter, so I'm waiting for my device to get shipped, but this will be a cool video once I get this in. It's a Raspberry Pi NAS, essentially, from the same people who make that. And it's, you plug in your Raspberry Pi 4, and you have the little, like, sister board, and then that goes into the case, and it has 4 SATA slots. But 2 are 3.5-inch compatible and 2 are 2.5. So you could do 2 3.5-inch hard drives and 2 solid-state drives, or you could do 4 solid-state drives. It's pretty cool. So yeah, here it is. But yeah, this is, they said shipping will begin in about 2 weeks. So hopefully in the next month or so, I'll have I'll have this in, and we can make a video on it. But yeah, eventually this setup will be migrated into this, and it'll be much more cool to use. And not sure why being cool is like it matters, but it will look better. And obviously having 4 drives will be cool. So, but yeah, that's netbook challenge. Dear God. Actually, oh, here's speaking of netbooks, not that this is a netbook, but I have this thing that I bought on, actually, let me get, hold on. I keep getting distracted. Let me run this server. Let me jump into this server. Oh, my environment. I still have the, it says bucket, but it's not. That's the default message of the day, I think. So, okay. I can't move. Oh, God. Hello? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, 91%. Not bad. That, oh, God. What is that? Oh, all right. All right. 78%. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see you. Okay, it's kind of running. How do you make a, how do you make a, what do you gotta make like a table first, right? Shit. How do you make an axe? I don't remember, man. Hold on. I'm scrolled up. Paper is very optimized. Oh wait, what was I saying? Okay. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Minecraft, very optimized. Arch Linux for a week after that. Netbook challenge. Running your desktop possible from a is running your desktop possible from a Pi cluster. A follow-up video maybe. First off, I want to figure out Pi clusters in general. I need to get into Kubernetes. I've read a lot on it. I just haven't implemented it yet. That Pi is getting eaten alive. No, we're chilling. We're chilling. Is there? Oh wait, I'm too far back. Sorry. So yeah, this thing. I bought this off Newegg. Oh yeah, I'll show you my cool. The main reason what I use my iPad for the most is when I stream. I can be like, yo, let me change the scene real quick. And I can be like, yeah, so this thing, I bought this off of Newegg like probably a year ago because it was on super sale. It was like $20. It's a Chrome stick and it is awful. I was like, okay, it's running Chrome OS. Uh, it should be fine, but it can like barely play back 1080p video. So maybe this will be the masochist use this for a week challenge. But yeah. Gen 2 Linux for a week. Man, we're gonna have so many challenges. And iPad is a lot more expensive than a Pi. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's way more powerful. I'm not saying that a iPad is like difficult or low power by any means, but it's certainly a different environment to be working in for an entire week as your only device. For sure. The game is actually the Pi might be running a 3090. Yeah. Too many pixels. Oh God. For stream, I use Lorian board app for Samsung S7 Plus, and I use Stream Element, which I recommend instead of Streamlabs. Yeah, I've only used Streamlabs and what is it? OBS. But yeah, this is actually running. Somebody remind me how to make a freaking axe, man. Whoops. How do you make an axe? Can I make an axe yet? I gotta make a stick. I thought a stick was just this and this. I thought that was stick. Do I have to make these? Woods? Now can I make a stick? No. I have to make planks. Planks, right? Then I can make a stick. I thought that was axe. Ah, shit. Hold on. All right, let's go. We got sticks. And then you can do stick and wood, right? Shit. Stick, wood, wood? Shit. How do I make an axe? Or a pickaxe or something? Oh, I need stone, right? No. Planks into crafting table. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Man, this thing's only running like 12%. Let's go. Okay, so now we have a crafting table. And we can be like, yo. And then I can be like, haha, let's go. Give me an axe. And a pickaxe. Look at us Minecrafting. We out here. Let's go. Oh shit. Oh no, I don't want to die. I gotta make a yes, I know I should be using a shovel. I mean, it's running it. I mean, you can see the CPU usage over here. It's not, I mean, it's one player. I know that, but I mean, damn. Now I'm safe. Imagine if this was like your real house. Oh no. Okay, so now we just won't die, right? Or can they still kill me? Alright, we'll hang out. Raidcraft. This is now a Minecraft stream. Vanilla would actually run worse than this. Interesting. Real Housewives of Raid Owl. Yeah, that'd be like, this is like poverty level, dude. Straight dirt. Sorry, what did I miss? Was testing Forza 5. We installed Minecraft in Docker on the Raspberry Pi, and we did a bucket server at first, and it was pinned at like 100% on the CPU. But we changed that to a paper server, and it seems like it's running better. It's hanging out at like 15% right now. I think when we're loading stuff, loading blocks, it jumps up to like 80 to 90%. But when you're just hanging out and everything's loaded, it's pretty chill on the processor. Sitting at 1.5 gigs of RAM used. Obviously, you want more RAM in general, but I mean, this is honestly impressive. So if you want to spin up a Minecraft server on your Raspberry Pi, you can do it. Find a diamond. Man, I can't do all that. I barely have freaking a wooden axe. We had some diamonds on our other server before we blew it up for the kids to jump on. Yeah, this is impressive. Is there any difference between paper and vanilla content-wise? I think it comes down to like the engine, well, not the engine itself, but paper, the server type will determine like what kind of plugins and mods you can use, and I guess how efficiently it runs. I guess they run slightly different. Heck is the resident Minecraft expert around here, so yeah, there's different types for sure. Greetings from Italy. I'll better go to bed here. It's 2:30 a.m. Oh man. Yeah, we have some people from Kuwait in here. We've had some people from Germany stop by. Now we have Italy. Yeah, we're a real international bunch. We had Scotland, England as well. So paper has a difference for more technical players. Yeah, and if you're running Minecraft, you're probably going to want to run plugins because plugins and mods are what makes it kind of, unless you want to run just the standard vanilla survival or creative modes, then you're going to want plugins and mods and stuff. So you're going to want to run one of those different types of servers. But yeah, Minecraft runs, which is impressive. So yeah, we have our storage. We didn't set up any RAID configurations. We just set up just standard file systems on our default devices. But I mean, it runs pretty well. I'm gonna do a dedicated video for the Raspberry Pi with Open Media Vault once I get my actual hard drives in that I'm going to use, and I can actually set up a RAID configuration on them to see if that helps improve speeds and whatnot. It's going to be running in a mirror, so probably not, but we'll see. But there's going to be a more official video on the Raspberry Pi and Open Media Vault. This was basically like, hey, let's try it out and see what the shit happens. So Is Open Media Vault 6 better than Open Media Vault 5 in your professional YouTuber opinion? I like how my boy Alan, after this, puts professional YouTuber in quotes like I'm not a super professional YouTuber or anything. I joke, I joke. I'm far from a professional YouTuber. Open Media Vault 6 in the hour that I have of using it compared to like the week I have of using Open Media Vault 5. 6 seems more inviting and easier to use. I feel like the sharing setup was easier on 5. I feel like in 6 I had to go to 2 places, a shared folders, and then I also had to go into Samba and do it there. I feel like in 5 I only had to do it in one spot. I could be wrong, but um, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a good upgrade. I can't say that if I'm running 5 that 6 is showing anything that I need to upgrade from 5 to 6 for. But if you're going into this without having anything yet, then yeah, I'd say go 6. How long do you think the final RAID array will take to initialize? Um, so the 14 terabyte, the 3 by 14 terabyte RAID 5 array took 36 hours. So I assume a 2 tera or a RAID 1 8 terabyte, 2 8 terabyte drives. I don't think Mirror takes as long to initialize as a RAID 5. So I'm hoping like 10 hours maybe. I don't know though. I'm coming from the ZFS world where it's super fast. What do you recommend? ButterFS or ZFS? Cool. Um, if you have the hardware to back it up, I would recommend ZFS. ZFS has been around for a long time, especially on FreeBSD. So it's in TrueNAS. If you're gonna run TrueNAS, or if you're gonna run ZFS, I'd recommend TrueNAS. It's extremely stable and has been very well optimized. So, if you have the RAM and hardware to back up running ZFS, I would recommend ZFS. If you don't, then it's honestly not a huge deal. When you're talking about file systems, you're talking about performance at a huge enterprise level before you start seeing any real noticeable differences, honestly. I mean, you might see in certain cases, yeah, ZFS is going to perform better when I'm doing this specific thing in my home network versus like ButterFS or XFS or ext4 or whatever. But if you're just setting up a home server to store your stuff on, spin up some servers, a couple of shares, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can go with whatever one you want, and if you don't like it, try a different one. See how it fares in your scenario. But I like using ZFS. It makes me feel like I'm getting better performance. I mean, I know ZFS generally does get better performance, but yeah, ZFS. My 2 by 4 terabyte took 6 to 7 hours. Okay, so my 10-hour estimate was kind of in the ballpark. Okay, I gotta go. That shift is roaming up to me. Gotta get up in, 4 hours. Have a nice little nap, Starkey. I appreciate you stopping by, Starkey. It was good having you in chat. If you haven't, I believe you said you joined the Discord already. So hoping to see you over there. And yeah, tune in for the next stream. I try to get one in probably like once a week. So yeah. Question for you guys in here. I'm thinking about maybe dual streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I feel like the the viewer base is bigger over on Twitch for live streams than it is on YouTube, but YouTube is kind of like where my only following is. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or not. We'll see. How many of you actually watch stuff on Twitch? Because I'm a big Twitch person. All the streamers I watch are on Twitch. Hope you don't delete that share of me. Nah, it's staying. It's staying until I replace these hard drives. So we'll see what happens when they get replaced. I wouldn't recommend dual streaming. Yeah, I'm kicking around the idea. I don't know if it's a good or bad idea yet. I've never tried it, so I don't even know how the interaction works. CJ definitely prefer Twitch. Yeah, I personally prefer Twitch as well, but seeing as that YouTube is my main kind of platform, I don't know how streaming on Twitch would go. So I'm more of a YouTube guy, but I'll do both for people I'm subscribed to. I can recommend streaming to Twitch only and videos on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do it that way, maybe eventually. But when I started streaming on YouTube, I mean, I still don't have like a huge following or anything, but there was no way I was going to get any viewership or any traction on Twitch, being as where my only platform is YouTube. Now with a good amount of people in Discord, a decent amount of people showing up for the YouTube streams, I might try a couple of streams on Twitch just to see how it goes. Maybe dual streaming the first couple, and if the Twitch ones go well, I might make it a Twitch stream on Twitch, but videos on YouTube, because I know it's kind of confusing. I personally hate when I see people I follow that post videos but also do live streams. I try to make it to where my videos, when I show a live stream, it's very clear that the video you're about to click on is a live stream and not like a video that I'm pushing out. So I have a generic like thumbnail I use for all my live streams, because nothing's more annoying than when a YouTuber puts out like a YouTube video, but they also stream, and then you click on a video thinking it's going to be like, a 10, 15-minute video or whatever, and it's a, 4-hour live stream. So that's one thing I like to get away from, but again, yeah, you don't know unless you try, so we'll see. I'm kicking around the idea. I thought there were some limitations to dual streaming. I think there are if you're partnered with one, so I might not be able to since I'm a YouTube partner, but I don't know how it works. I know in Streamlabs you can set it up to dual stream. So if I go down here, technically I can, but I don't know. I want to at least gauge the reaction first before I decide to at least try it. So I don't know. And we'll see. We'll see. It's not a huge deal anyway. How do you subscribe to the Discord? Lao, Way of the Lao. So there should be a link in the description below to join the Discord. And when you click that, it should open up in your browser, or if you have the app installed, it should open up there and you should be in. So yeah, that should work. I would tune into Twitch. It's all the same to me. Yeah, I'm assuming the people that are that show up regularly to these YouTube streams would move over to Twitch. But I just don't want to like one day be like pulling the rug out on the people who watch on YouTube and be like, oh yeah, I'm not streaming on YouTube anymore. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, the viewership and the interaction I think is bigger and better on Twitch, but again, you know, I'm not a big time streamer or anything. So restream, it lets you dual stream. Yeah, I know there's a couple of things that allow you to. I think OBS Studio should, or Streamlabs should let me do it as well. So again, we'll see. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Let me see what all right, we got like let's see, about 17 more minutes. 8 o'clock, I'm gonna head over to the old birthday party down the street. So um anything you guys want to see in Open Media Vault on the Raspberry Pi, anything you're interested in my home server that I'm running, any projects you have questions about, any other questions, anything you guys want to ask, we got about 16 or so minutes left. So I'm down to just unwind and hang out for these last couple minutes. So another stream about Open Media Vault. Someone is starting to be a fan. Jorge, yeah, I honestly like it more than I thought I would. I like the simplicity of it, which is why I picked it for my backup server. And then it being able to run on a Raspberry Pi is honestly really, really cool. So, I mean, it was worth a shot, and it's really running surprisingly well on it. I mean, we were just running Minecraft server in here, and it was handling that pretty well, to be honest. So yeah, I'm surprised at how well this thing is handling it. But I think that's what I'm going to go with for my solar powered Raspberry Pi backup system. That's what I wanted to try. We didn't get around to it this stream, but I'll post it in the Discord or in the YouTube. I'll make a post on YouTube or something, or on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. I want to try this Open Media Vault over Wi-Fi and see how it handles it. So we were getting about 50 to 70 megabytes per second over gigabit LAN. I want to see how it fares to being within a decent range of Wi-Fi. As I said, I wouldn't recommend it because there are people that are going to stay on their preferred platform. So if Twitch has 50 viewers, all talking YouTube has 20, your focus is going to be on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, obviously following two chats is going to be difficult. So yeah, we'll see. Happy, how's it going? It's going pretty well. I'm sorry if you just joined. We got about 15 minutes left in the stream. I actually have one of my friend's birthday parties to go down the street to, but the entire stream will be on the YouTube channel after this. You can watch a VOD of it. Basically, we just set up Open Media Vault on the Raspberry Pi, set up some shares, installed Docker, walked through kind of the new Open Media Vault 6 layout, did a transfer speed test on it. We set up a Minecraft server that ran surprisingly well. But the plan is to use this exact same setup. I'll be using 2 8 terabyte hard drives in RAID and using this as kind of my remote backup testing server. I'm going to be running that. It's going to be solar powered. So that'll be a thing that I'll make a video about relatively soon. So yeah, nothing too crazy happened this stream. Nothing bad happened, which was good. So that's definitely a plus compared to my other streams recently. How do I say your name? Oh my God, I can't say it. Ataraxia? Adam? I'm gonna call you Adam. Adam, so this Minecraft server is in the Docker container. So you could run the other containers at the same time. Yes. So it's just a containerized Minecraft server, and you can put as much stuff in here as you want. You can you can go into the custom templates that they have here and spin up an Nginx web server in like 2 seconds. assuming it's optimized for ARM based, which I assume they have an image for that. So yeah, that's the cool thing about Docker. Everything's containerized and its own little section, and you can run multiple stuff. So now I have a Nginx web server running on port 49 154. So if I go here, I should get the Nginx welcome screen. What did I say it was? 49 154. Yeah, so boom, now we got an Nginx web server. Took like 2 seconds to spin up. Alongside of our Minecraft server, which is also still running. I'm curious about running a relay node on the same hardware. Depending on your hardware, you can run as much stuff as your hardware can take. I probably would certainly handle a relay node and traffic without an issue. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how optimized and how few resources a lot of services can run on these days. It's honestly impressive. Jorge, I missed the stream beginning, but today I spent the day migrating Unraid to Open Media Vault with the ZFS. I'm loving it. Nice you're liking it as well. So you're running the ZFS plugin in Open Media Vault, I assume? I haven't personally tried that, but I like ZFS personally, and I run it on TrueNAS. So assuming the plugin makes it, I'm sure it's fine. I don't know if it gives you like a GUI or anything with it, but it's not like the ZFS commands are that taxing or that difficult from the CLI anyway. So assuming you have the hardware to back it up, ZFS is awesome. Steve, Open Media Vault is good for home use. TrueNAS is more advanced but needs better hardware. Yeah, agreed. I agree 100% with that. You're using TrueNAS VM as your main NAS. Yes, I am. So we can take a look at my So this is my main server. It's running Proxmox, and here you can see my TrueNAS virtual machine. And in here, you'll see that I've passed through 2 PCI HBA cards. So my hard drives are directly passed through to the VM. So it's not like I'm creating a virtualized version of that to pass through. The entire hardware is passed directly through to the VM. So it's about as close to bare metal as you can get with a VM. So yeah, that's I mean, if you want to do PCI pass-through with HBA cards, then virtualizing is perfectly fine. You do lose a little bit of performance if you're virtualizing the drive and then passing that through, but again, we're talking about you're not talking about large performance increases or decreases in a home environment. Like Steve said, TrueNAS is more advanced and needs better hardware. It's more designed for extreme home users or enterprise or not corporation, but like businesses and things where you're hitting it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you're going to see noticeable performance versus like in a home scenario where you're just using it to store your photos or videos or run some small services off of. So still hasn't installed dark mode on his Proxmox, for shame. Look, how many times I have to tell you I'm a serial killer. I use light mode. Look, boom. These are actually the only things I use light mode for. Like in Visual Studio, for sure dark mode. But yeah, some things I still have light mode on. No shame. But yeah, so the plan, the plan for my next video, I think my next video is going to be the solar Raspberry Pi video. I want to do a video. This will probably be early next year, sometime in January. I want to do a beginner's guide to home servers, because in my previous videos where I've made talking about home servers, I've learned a lot since then. I've gotten a lot of feedback. I've had a lot of people ask certain questions, and a lot of them come up quite often. So I want to redo kind of my home server video. Not necessarily redo, it'll be a completely different video aimed more towards like, I'm a beginner looking to get into home servers. Where do I start? Because I know it can be extremely intimidating, especially when you try to go ask for help and people are like, you need a rack mounted, you need a 48U rack mounted system with, you know, multiple redundant backup servers and a UPS, and you have to be running, you know, this version of Linux for this, and, you know, FreeBSD for this, and they all have to be, you know, rack mounted servers, and you need Xeons and ECC, and it can be super overwhelming. So I want to make a video kind of easing people into home servers and letting people know you can do it on a Raspberry Pi, you can do it on a desktop system. You can take your old, you know, 4770 or 7700K and use that if you want. So talking about like where to start, what hypervisor to go with, what operating system to go with, virtualizing versus bare metal. I kind of want to do a video on that. So I've been making notes on what I want to talk about, so that it's an actual quality video when I do make it. Then, like I was talking about, I want to do the week challenge with a iPad, where I have to, I think what, yeah, I'm gonna do a week on the iPad and see how that goes. Obviously, I'm gonna have to edit the entire video on there as well, so that'll be interesting to do, to see how it goes. I was able to give OpenMediaVault 2 cores and 4 gigabytes on Proxmox, and my 1 gigabit network was the limiting factor. Yeah, I mean, basic data transfers don't take much if you're running sophisticated. I know if you're running like RAID 5 or something that uses parity to do calculations, then it's going to use a bit more hardware power and processing power. And then if you go with ZFS, obviously more processing power and more RAM needed, but for basic operations, it's really not that much. For a Pi video, can you do a couple of power options for Pi solar battery, internal and external PoE and PoE plus? Yeah, I'll look into it. I don't have a PoE. I might get a PoE router or a PoE switch to test it out. We'll see. I'm gonna look into it for the hardware, for the PoE, for the hat and the switch. I might have to go order one. Is it a big deal if you don't use ECC RAM? It depends. I mean, I can sit here and say, yes, you have to use ECC RAM, or else your system's gonna crash and you're gonna lose all your data. But the reality is, let's put it this way, I wouldn't personally run a production server without ECC RAM. I'm also the person that's never going to store anything that's not in RAID or that doesn't have a backup. I'm just super paranoid about it. If you're running a backup server, or if it's a home server you're just messing around with, you don't need ECC RAM at all. It's error checking RAM, so it's going to prevent against lots of issues that come up with obviously using RAM, and the more services you run, the more RAM is going to get hit. The more you're going to read and write from that same RAM, and that's where you can get into issues where bits get out of order and, you know, you see blue screen like in Windows or system crashes. So if you're running a really heavy production server, for sure go with ECC RAM. But if you're asking me, hey, I'm trying to get into home servers and I have a 7700K with, you know, all this hardware, but it doesn't support ECC RAM, do I need to go out and buy a new motherboard, a new processor, and ECC RAM just to be using ECC RAM? No. I mean, use what you have. If it's running stable and working fine, cool. If you start seeing crashes and you're losing data, obviously, and important information, for sure, you're going to want to upgrade and use ECC RAM and something more stable. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, it's kind of it depends on your setup. Asneo again with the donation, $10. Can't wait for the new YouTube videos. Keep them coming, bud. Yes, sir. I do not plan on stopping anytime soon. This has been a hobby of mine, and for some crazy reason, we've been getting more and more subscribers, more and more people showing up to stream, which is only helping motivate me to make more videos and make better content. So yeah, no sign of stopping at this point. So again, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks again for the monetary donation and your kind words. I love how you can add more drives to your Unraid. Yeah, so in Unraid, it's really cool the way they have their stuff set up in their array where you can just throw another drive in there and mismatch drives and whatnot. I mean, you can do that with a regular RAID array, but you have to rebuild it and you have to have the same size drives and whatnot. So Unraid does make it easy to add more drives for sure. I don't think home NAS boxes use ECC RAM. It's the home work difference. Yeah, it just depends on who you are. Like personally, like I said, my production server, I'm running ECC. I wouldn't run non-ECC, but that's my personal preference. If someone came to me and said, you know, I just made my first home server. I'm running my home server on a 7700K and, you know, it's cool. I'm doing this and that. I'm be like, oh, awesome. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, oh, you're not running ECC RAM? That's basically shit. So yeah, it's totally in your whatever floats your boat, honestly. ECC is going to be way more stable, but you don't always have a motherboard and a processor laying around that support ECC RAM. A lot of people get into home servers for the first time want to use their older computer parts that don't necessarily support that. So I'm all for getting in any way you can, and then if you need to upgrade to something more stable or future-proof, go ahead. Maybe using Unraid in a virtual machine inside Proxmox. Seems something nice to try. I am usually against, like, not against, I don't really care, but a hypervisor from a hypervisor inside a hypervisor is kind of strange. I know I'm running TrueNAS within Proxmox, but TrueNAS Core, the FreeBSD version, I see as less of a hypervisor and more as just a NAS strictly NAS operating system. And I guess technically you can use Unraid as that if you just want to use the storage aspect of it. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. Like I said, it's up to you. There's everybody's setup can be different. If you do it one way and you like doing it that way, then just keep doing it, honestly. So, okay, it is 8 o'clock. I have to go be social, unfortunately. So all of you guys that have been in here hanging out, I greatly appreciate you all stopping by. We had, I think, I think we had like 50 people in here at one point, which is absolutely insane. What does it show? Wait. It doesn't show my max concurrent viewers. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's see. We had 53 people in here at one point, which is definitely the highest amount we've had. So all of you that have stopped by, whether you've been in here the whole time, whether you just joined, whether you're watching the VOD after, I sincerely appreciate it. These are extremely fun for me to do. I like interacting with you guys, um, especially since, you know, it's always chill. Everyone's always cool in here. I don't have to worry about. The only thing I have to worry about is those stupid people coming in and spamming, those bots that come in and spam that stupid website. So these are always fun to do. So um, before I go, links in the description if you want to join the Discord, if you want to support the channel on Patreon, Discord, or PayPal, feel free to do so. I don't expect any monetary donations. Asmio, I appreciate all the kind words and money you donated this stream. It means a lot to me. Super awesome. But any support down in the description below. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night or rest of your day, depending on where in the world you are at. But I am going to go be social and have some adult beverages. So that is it. Have a good night. See y'all. I do plan on streaming next week. So if you have any ideas for stuff you want to see, comment down below or let me know in the Discord. But that's it. Have a good night, everyone. See y'all next time. Peace.